Chapter 1 of Basil, or Honesty and Industry. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Robert Harder. Basil, or Honesty and Industry, by C.G. O'Brien. Chapter 1 A Miserable Home. It was a lovely morning in autumn when two gentlemen rode across a pleasant village green. A flock of geese were marching along on their return from a visit to a neighboring stubble field, whilst on another part of the green a party of boys were playing at bat and ball. The gentlemen stopped at a gate leading to a large farm which had recently been sold, although the house was still uninhabited. "It is very unlikely we shall find anyone up at the house to look after our horses," said one of the gentlemen, "and I think it would be better to secure the services of one of those lads yonder." The elder of the two gentlemen dismounted as he spoke, and called out to the group of bat and ball players, "Here, one of you lads, just hold these horses for a while." A very poorly clad but intelligent-looking boy was the first to answer the summons. His ragged garments hung loosely upon him, and he had that prematurely old look about his face which want and privation never fail to produce. "I'll hold them for you, please, sir." "That's a good boy, and walk them quietly up and down, for they are rather warm." The two gentlemen entered the farm, and Basil, for that was the boy's name, did as he was bid, walking the horses up and down on the smooth green turf. He was fond of animals, and seemed quite proud of his charge, as he stopped every now and then to stroke and pat their glossy necks. "What a fine thing it must be to have a horse of one's own," thought he. "I'd rather have a horse than be a king, that I would." And he stooped down to gather a bunch of sweet clover, which he divided between the two animals. It was nearly half an hour before the gentlemen reappeared, for they had been into the wood at the back of the house to inspect some trees which were to be felled shortly. Basil led the horses to the gate, to be in readiness for them. As the gentlemen approached, the elder of the two said to his companion, "I sincerely wish you joy of your new farm, Stewart, and I have no doubt but that you will prosper in it. Perseverance and industry are the two great essentials to success, and I believe I am not wrong in attributing to you both those qualities." "Thank you for your good opinion," said the other, smiling, and he then added in a more serious tone, "I am, after all, you know, but a steward of this great property. May He who alone can order the unruly wills and affections of sinful men enable me to discharge my duties properly. So large an estate entails a great responsibility upon its possessor." "Most assuredly it does," replied his companion, "but if we conscientiously endeavor to do our duty, it is a proud responsibility, inasmuch as it gives us the power of doing an immensity of good to our fellow creatures. And as regards industry and perseverance, I believe that the benevolent Creator blesses all such exertions when directed to the right end. 35 years ago I was as poor and penniless as that boy there," pointing to Basil as he spoke. "And now you are as rich as Croesus," said his friend, smiling. "Not quite, nor should I wish to be. I have sufficient to lend a helping hand to my fellow creatures, and to live comfortably myself. What more can I require? God has prospered me in all my undertakings, and I should indeed be sadly ungrateful for his goodness, were I ever to forget that there was once a time, the memory of which is very strong, when I should have been thankful to earn a trifle as this boy is now doing. It's all quite true, my lad," continued he, as he caught Basil's eye fixed on him in incredulous astonishment. "It's all quite true. Ask God to give you his Holy Spirit, to enable you to act honestly and industriously, in whatever station you may be placed, and there is no reason why, with his blessing on your exertions, and he will bless you if you ask him, you should not be an independent man some of these days." Thus saying, he put 6 pence into Basil's hand, and the two friends mounted their horses and rode off. Basil stood gazing earnestly after them as they departed. The words he had just heard still rang in his ears. "There is no reason why you should not some day be an independent man." Basil scarcely knew the exact meaning of the word independent, but he supposed it meant having plenty to eat and drink, wearing good clothes, and living in a fine house. And as his life had hitherto
Sample complete. Ready to continue?